forest. A certain stand of trees would be symbolic of a soulmate. They're all soulmates. They're growing together. Think of it in terms of tree. Even the Bible uses the vines and tree of life. Trees are very symbolic in their analogy. So think of this as a stand of trees that grow together, soulmates. They just travel together. Twin souls, have you ever seen a tree? Have you ever seen a tree that there's two stems growing out, but there's one root system? One root system, many stems coming out. These are twin souls. This would be twin souls. Here, this. Very often, twin souls do not incarnate at the same time because they act as a balance for one another. One is physical, one is non-physical. One is usually male, one is usually female. Blah, 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 like that. Now, this, different branches or sub-branches of the same offshoot, this is a twin flame. These are the passionate lovers that can never be separated, no matter what happens. If one is gone, the other feels the loss. It's just never the same. That's twin flame. It's the strongest soul connection that you can possibly have. So that's how you know. Here would be, well, for example, soulmates don't necessarily have to be of the same oversoul, because there are many oversouls. Twin souls, all of these are twin souls to one another. Okay? These are twin flames. Now what can happen, especially with twin flames, which by the way could be identical twins too. Sometimes the energy of a soul personality is so powerful that it just cannot incarnate on the same body. And that it's so intelligent, it needs varied experiences for the same energy. So very often, it can split. See? And then create other existences, offshoot of the same line that splits. That can happen. Like the branches would split on a branch comes out and then it has offshoots of the branch. Trees are very symbolic.
It's like if they were, I'm thinking of the movie Little Buddha, where they brought the three kids.
I didn't see it.
Looking for, what he was. This one guy died. And ended up being these three children that these Buddhist monks found were representations of this one priest, for lack of a better term. In the end, they found out that all three of them retained the knowledge of that one person. So that's kind of what you're talking about?
Kind of like that. It's similar, but of course the movie. So, yeah.
Well, it's based on a real.
But sometimes an oversoul or the master intelligence will decide, well, I'll use a different color. This guy is in a non-physical reality, and this one is in a physical reality, and they're both not doing so well. It might be a good idea to put them together for a while. Help each one enhance each part. It's part of the same oversoul. What I'm trying to bring out to you is the difference between these two terms, which is so important. The difference between a walk-in, and a merger. The merger symbol you have in your book. Now, I know what you have read out there. I know what you think about these, but you may not even have heard of this one. But let me explain something to you. Now that you understand conceptually about oversouls and soul personalities, we haven't done the DNA part yet, but that's also important. It is cosmically illegal for a personality of another oversoul to occupy a body of another oversoul. That's like a carjacking, literally. Those people out there who claim to be walk-ins or who say they had contract before they were born, that's just not the case. Walk-ins are cosmically illegal. Mergers are perfectly acceptable because it's a non-physical personality and a physical personality of the same oversoul blending their energies to enhance the personalities. Each retains its identity and knows that the purpose is to enhance itself. Now, keeping in mind, it's always a non-physical with a physical. It'd be pretty messy to have two physical people merged together. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, so when someone, tomorrow we're going to learn about DNA and how it's created by the mind pattern. It's almost like tailored clothing. That's what your body is, tailored to your particular mind pattern. Nobody else can use it. It's like wearing clothes that don't fit you, belong to somebody else. So a true walk-in, one where a soul leaves and the other one enters in, can happen, but the body doesn't last too long because the soul personality is not driving its own DNA. It's driving DNA that it did not create, so it kind of burns the body out and the body will die eventually anyway. So this is not long-lasting. I think what most of those people out there are talking about is this, but they don't understand it, so they're calling it something else. But this is how simultaneous existence operates. And when I talk about alternate selves or parallel universes or alternate existences, this is what we are referring to. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Clear questions on that? Okay. So may I then erase this? And you're going to hear a lot more about this in this new century because a lot of that is happening. And do you remember the Oversoul when I drew it on the board this morning on the flow chart? The highest point intelligence-wise of the Oversoul was at the Christ consciousness level. That's where the pinnacle was. That's the connecting point of all of the Oversouls to God mind. So theoretically, if we want to look at this, if God mind is at the center of existence, and we showed you the Oversouls and the triangular shape in the flowchart. Of course, it's really more multidimensional than that. It's coming out this way and all the way around. It's really like a globe. We really have here like a wheel. That's why the Buddhists have this wheel of life that they spin all the time. What that represents is the Oversoul's connection to God mind at the center and how the Oversouls are all connected. That's what that's all about. Okay. Now, we're going to do an exercise now